हरे कृष्णा। चैतन्य चरितमृत मध्य लीला चैप्टर 10 द लॉर्ड्स रिटर्न टू जगन्नाथ पुरी। सभी सुनने वाले भाई बहनों को, गोपा गोपियों को, वैष्णवा वैष्णवियों को और सभी भक्त वृंद अनुभावों को सर्ववंद्या देवी दासी माता जी का दंडवत प्रणाम स्वीकार करें। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितेन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमः आचार्यपादाय नित्याय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथा दामादाय नगरग्रामतारिणे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवा परा वेदा, वासुदेवा परा मखा, वासुदेवा परा योगा, वासुदेवा परा क्रिया, वासुदेवा परम ज्ञान, वासुदेवा परा तपा, वासुदेवा परो धर्म, वासुदेवा परा गति। वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरु। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। कृष्णे स्वधामोपगति धर्म ज्ञानादिभिः सह कलो नष्टो दृशामेष पुराणार्को विनोदिता। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ऋषियो ऊचु त्वया खलु पुराणानि सेतिहासानि चानगा आख्यातानि अभिधीतानि धर्मशास्त्राणि ज्ञानयुता। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा, जय अद्वैता चंद्रा जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा, जय अद्वैता चंद्रा जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरा भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरा भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वृंदावन में श्री कृष्णा पूरी जगन्नाथ, मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाई। वृंदावन में श्री कृष्ण पूरी मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाय। वृंदावन में श्री कृष्णा पुरी जगन्नाथ, मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाय। कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम भज गौरा निताय। कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम भज गौरा निताय। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। वृंदावन में श्री कृष्णा पुरी जगन्नाथ, मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाय। वृंदावन में श्री कृष्णा पुरी जगन्नाथ, मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाय। कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम भज गौरा निताय। कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम भज गौरा निताय। कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम भज गौरा निताय। मायापुर में श्री कृष्णा पुरी जगन्नाथ, वृंदावन में श्री कृष्णा पुरी जगन्नाथ, मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाय। वृंदावन में श्री कृष्णा पुरी जगन्नाथ, मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाय। वृंदावन में श्री कृष्णा पुरी जगन्नाथ, मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाय। वृंदावन में श्री कृष्णा पुरी जगन्नाथ, मायापुर में गौरा निताय बोलो रे सबाय। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवा तुम्हें। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवा तुम्हें। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Text 1. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is compared to a cloud that pours water on field of grain, which are like devotees suffering due to a shortage of rain. Separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a drought, but when the Lord returns, his presence is like a nectarine rain that falls on all the grains and saves them from preaching. All glory to Lord Chaitanya, all glory to Nityananda Prabhu, all glory to Advaita Chandra, and all glory to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed for South India, King Prataprudra called Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to his palace. When Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya met with the king offered him a seat with all respects and inquired about news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The king said to the Bhattacharya, I have heard that a great personality has come from Bengal and is staying at your home. I have also heard that he is very merciful. I have also heard that this great personality has shown you great favor. At any rate, this is what I hear from many different people. Now being merciful upon me, you should do me the favor of arranging an interview. The Bhattacharya replied, all that you have heard is true, but as far as in interview is concerned, it is very difficult to arrange. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the renounced order and is very much detached from worldly affairs. He stays in solitary places, and even in dreams he does not grant interview to a king. Still, I would have tried to arrange your interview, but he has recently left to tour South India. The king asked, why had he left Jagannath Puri? Great saints go to holy places of pilgrimage in order to purify them. For that reason, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is visiting many tirthas and delivering many conditioned souls. Saints of your caliber are themselves places of pilgrimage. Because of their purity, they are constant compassions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the palaces of pilgrimage. A Vaishnava reveals to places of pilgrimage to purify them and reclaim fallen conditioned souls. This is one of the duties of a Vaishnava. Actually, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not a living entity, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Consequently, He is a fully independent controller, yet in His position as a devotee, He carries out the activities of a devotee. Upon hearing this, the king replied, why did you allow him to leave? Why did not you fall at his lotus feet and keep him here? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself and is completely independent, being Lord Krishna Himself. He is not dependent on anyone. Still, I endeavored very hard to keep him here, but because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and completely independent, I was not successful. The king said, Bhattacharya, you are the most learned and experienced person I know. Therefore, when you address Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Lord Krishna, I accept this as the truth. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returns, I wish to see him just once in order to make my eyes perfect. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, His Holiness Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will return very soon. I wish to have a nice place ready for him, a place solitary and peaceful. Lord Chaitanya's residence should be very secluded and also near the temple of Jagannatha. Please consider this proposal and give me a nice place of him. The king replied, Kasi Misra house is exactly what you require. It is near the temple and a very secluded, calm and quiet. After saying this, the king became very anxious for the Lord to return. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then went to Kasi Misra to convey the king's desire. When Kasi Misra heard the proposal, he said, I am very fortunate that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord of all Prabhus, will stay at my home. Thus all the residents of Jagannatha Puri, which is also known as Purushottama, became anxious to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again. When all the residents of Jagannatha Puri became extremely anxious to meet the Lord again, he returned from South India. Hearing of the Lord's return, everyone became very happy and they all went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and spoke to him as follows. Please arrange our meeting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is only by your mercy that we can attain the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. The Bhattacharya replied to the people, tomorrow the Lord will be at the house of Kasi Misra. I shall arrange for you all to meet him. The next day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived and went with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya with great enthusiasm to see the temple of Lord Jagannatha. All the servants of Lord Jagannatha delivered remains of the Lord's food to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In return, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced them all. After seeing Lord Jagannatha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left the temple. The Bhattacharya then took him to the house of Kasi Misra. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at his house, Kasi Misra immediately fell down at his lotus feet and surrounded himself and all his possessions. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then showed Kasi Misra his four-armed form. Then accepting him for his service, the Lord embraced him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu next sat down at the place prepared for him, and all the devotees headed by Lord Nityananda Prabhu surrounded him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy to see his residential quarters. in which all his necessities were taken care of. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, "This place is just befitting you. Please accept it. It is the hope of Kasi Mishra that you do." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My body belongs to all of you. Therefore, I agree to whatever you say." After this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, sitting at the right hand of the Lord, began to introduce all the inhabitants of Purushottama Jagannatha Puri. The Bhattacharya said, "My dear Lord, all the people who are residents of Nilanchala Jagannatha Puri have been very anxious to meet you. In your absence, all these people have been exactly like thirsty kataka birds crying in disappointment. Kindly accept them." Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya first introduced Janardhana, saying, "Here is Janardhana, servant of Lord Jagannatha. He renders service to the Lord when it is time to renovate his transcendental body." Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya continue, "This is Krishna Dasa, who carried a golden cane, and here is Sikki Maheti, who is in charge of writing. This is Pradyuman Mishra, who is chief of all Vaishnavas. He is a great servitor of Jagannatha, and his name is Dasa. This is Murari Mahiti, the brother of Sikhi Mahiti. He has nothing other than your lotus feet. Here are Chandaneswara, Simbeswara, Murari, Brahmana, and Vishnu Dasa. They are all constantly engaged in meditating on your lotus feet. This is Paramananda Parhara Raja, who is also known as Mahapatra. He is very, very intelligent. All these pure devotees serve as ornaments to Jagannatha Puri. They are always undividingly meditating upon your lotus feet. After this introduction, everyone fell to the ground like rods. Being very merciful upon them all, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced each one of them. At this time, Bhavananda Raya appeared with 4 of his sons, and all of them fall down at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya continue, this is Bhavananda Raya. father of Sri Ramananda Raya, who is his first son. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Bhavananda Raya and with great respect spoke of his son Ramananda Raya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu honored Bhavananda Raya by saying the glory of a person who has a jewel of a son like Ramananda Raya cannot be described within this mortal world. You are Maharaja Pandu himself and your wife is Kunti Devi herself. All your highly intellectual sons are representatives of the 5 Pandavas. After hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's praise, Bhavananda Raya submitted, I am in the 4th class of the social order and I engage in mundane affairs. Although I am very fallen, you have still touched me. This is proof that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Appreciating Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's favor, Bhavananda Raya also said, along with my home, rich servant and 5 sons, I surrender myself at your lotus feet. This son, Baninatha, will remain at your lotus feet to always immediately attend to your orders and serve you. My dear Lord, please consider me your relative. Do not hesitate to order whatever you desire at any time you desire it. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Bhavananda Raya's offer saying, I accept without hesitation because you are not an outsider. Birth after birth, you have been my servant along with your family members. Sri Ramananda Raya is coming within 5 to 7 days. As soon as he arrived, my desires will be fulfilled. I take great pleasure in his company. Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Bhavananda Raya. The Lord then touched the heads of his sons with his lotus feet. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then sent Bhavananda Raya back to his home and he kept only Baninatha Patnayaka in his personal service. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then asked all the people to leave. Afterward, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for Kala Krishnananda Sa, who had accompanied the Lord during his South Indian tour. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Bhattacharya, just consider the character of this man who went with me to South India. He left my company to associate with the Bhattacharyas, but I refused him from their company and brought him here. Now that I have brought him here, I am asking him to leave now Now he can go wherever he like, for I am no longer responsible for him. Hearing the Lord reject him, Kala Krishnadasa began to cry. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not crying for him, immediately left to take his noon lunch. After this, the other devotees, headed by Nityananda Prabhu, Jagannatha, Mukunda, and Damodara, began to consider a certain plan. The Lord's four devotees considered, we went to a person to go to Bengal just to inform Sachi Mata about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival at Jagannath Puri. After hearing news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival, devotees like Advaita and Srivasa will certainly come to see him. Let us therefore send Krishnadasa to Bengal. Saying this, they kept Krishnadasa engaged in the service of the Lord and gave him assurance. The next day, all the devotees asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please give permission for a person to go to Bengal. Mother Sachi and all the devotees headed by Advaita Prabhu are all very unhappy due to not receiving news about your return from your South Indian tour. One person should go to Bengal and inform them about the auspicious news of your return to Jagannatha Puri. In this way, Kala Krishnadasa was sent to Bengal and he was given sufficient quantities of Lord Jagannatha food remnants to distribute there. Thus Kala Krishnadasa went to Bengal and he first went to Navadvipa to see Mother Sachi. Upon reaching Mother Sachi, Kala Krishna Dasa first offered his obeisances and delivered the food remains Mahaprasadam. He then informed her of the good news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had returned from his South Indian tour. This good news gave much pleasure to Mother Sachi as well as to all the devotees of Navadvipa, headed by Srivasa Thakura. Hearing of Lord Chaitanya return to Puri, everyone became very glad. Krishna Dasa next went to the house of Advaita Acharya. After paying him respectful obeisances, Krishna Dasa offered Mahaprasadam to Advaita Acharya. He then informed him of the news of Lord Chaitanya in complete detail. When Advaita Acharya Goswami heard of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu return, he became very pleased in his great ecstasy of love. He made a rumbling sound and danced and chanted for a long time. Also hearing this auspicious news, Haridasa Thakura became very pleased. So also did Vasudeva Datta, Murari Gupta, and Shivananda Sena. Acharya Ratna Vakreswara Pandita, Acharya Nidhi and Gadadhara Pandita were all very pleased to hear this news. Sri Rama Pandita, Damodara Pandita, Sri Man Pandita, Vijaya and Sridhara were also very pleased to hear it. Raghava Pandita, Nandana Acharya and all the devotees became very satisfied. How many can I describe? Everyone was very pleased and they all gathered together at the house of Advaita Acharya. All the devotees offered respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya, and in return Advaita Acharya embraced them all. Advaita Acharya then held a festival that lasted 2 or 3 days. Thereafter, they all made a first decision to go to Jagannatha Puri. All the devotees met together at Navadvipa and with Mother Sachi's permission departed for Niladri, Jagannatha Puri. The inhabitants of Kulina Grama, Satyaraja, Ramananda and all the other devotees there came and joined Advaita Acharya. Mukunda, Narahari, Raghu, Nandana and all the others came from Khanda to Advaita Acharya home to accompany him to Jagannatha Puri. At that time, Paramananda Puri came from South India, traveling along the bank of the Ganges, ultimately reached the town of Nadia. Navadvipa, Paramananda Puri took his board and lodging at the house of Sachi Mata. She provided him with everything very respectfully. While residing at the house of Sachi Mata, Paramananda Puri heard the news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannatha Puri. He therefore decided to go there as soon as possible. There was a devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu named Divija Kamala Kanta, whom Paramananda Puri took with him to Jagannatha Puri. Paramananda Puri very soon arrived at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place. The Lord was very happy to see him. In the great ecstasy of love, the Lord worshipped the lotus feet of Paramananda Puri, and in turn, Paramananda Puri embraced the Lord in great ecstasy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Please stay with me and thus show me favor accepting the shelter of Jagannatha Puri." Paramananda Puri replied, "I also wish to stay with you. Therefore, I have come from Bengal, Gauda to Jagannatha Puri. At Navadvipa, Mother Sachi and all the others devotees were very glad to hear about your return from South India. They are all coming here to see you, but seeing that they were delayed, I came alone very quickly. There was a solitary rooms at Kasi Misra's house, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave it to Paramananda Puri. He also gave him a servant. Swarupa Damodara also arrived the next day. He was a very intimate friend of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was an ocean of transcendental mellow. When Swarupa Damodara was residing at Navadvipa under the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name was Purushottama Acharya. After seeing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order, Purushottama Acharya became like a madman and immediately went to Varanasi to take sannyasa. At the conclusion of his sannyasa, his spiritual master Chaitanyananda Bharati ordered him read the Vedanta Sutra and teach it to all others. Swarupa Damodara was a great renouncant as well as a great learned scholar with heart and soul. He took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. He was very enthusiastic to worship Sri Krishna without disturbance, and therefore almost in madness he accepted the sannyasa order. Upon accepting sannyasa, Purushottama Acharya followed the regulative principles by giving up his tuft of hair and sacred thread, but he did not accept the saffron color dress. Also, he did not accept a sannyasi title, but remained as a Nastika Brahmachari. After taking permission from his sannyasa guru, Swarupa Damodara went to Nilanchala and accepted the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then all day and night, in ecstatic love of Krishna, he enjoyed transcendental mellow in the loving service of the Lord. Swarupa Damodara was the limit of all learned scholarship, but he did not exchange word with anyone. He simply remained in a solitary place, and no one could understand where he was. Sri Swarupa Damodara was the personification of ecstatic love, fully cognizant of the transcendental melody. In relationship with Krishna, he directly represented Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his second expansion. If someone wrote a book or composed verses and songs and wanted to recite them before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarupa Damodara would first examine them and then correctly present them. Only then would Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agree to listen. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was never pleased to hear books or verses opposed to the conclusive statement of devotional service. The Lord did not like hearing rasa bhasa, the overlapping of transcendental melodies. It was the practice of Swarupa Damodara Goswami to examine all literatures to find out whether their conclusion were correct. Only then would we allow them to be heard by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Swarupa Damodar used to read the poem of Vidyapati and Chandidasa and Jayadeva Goswami, Sri Gita Govinda, Sri Gita Govinda. He used to make Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very happy by singing these songs. Swarupa Damodara was an expert in musician as the Gandharvas, and in scriptural discussion he was just like Brahaspati. He was just like a Brahaspati, the priest of the heavenly gods. Therefore, it is to be concluded that there was no great personality quite like Swarupa Damodara. Sri Swarupa Damodara was very dear to Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu, and he was the life of soul of all the devotees, headed by Sri Vasa Thakura. When Swarupa Damodara came to Jagannatha Puri, he fell flat before the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, offering him obeisances and reciting a verse. O Ocean of mercy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let there be in awakening of your auspicious mercy, which easily drives away all kinds of material lamentation by making everything pure and blissful. Indeed, your mercy awakens transcendental bliss and covers all material pleasures. By your auspicious mercy, quarrel and disagreement arising among different scriptures are vanquished Your auspicious mercy pours forth transcendental mellow, and thus causes the heart to jubilate. Your mercy, which is full of joy, always stimulates devotional service and glorifies conjugal love of God. My transcendental bliss, may transcendental bliss be awakened within my heart by your causeless mercy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raised Swarupa Damodara to his feet and embraced him. They both became ecstatic in love and fell unconscious after they had regained their patient. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to speak. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I saw in a dream that you were coming, and so this is very auspicious. I have been like a blind man, but your coming here restores my vision. Swarupa said, my dear Lord, please excuse my offense. I gave up your company to go elsewhere, and that was my great mistake. My dear Lord, I do not possess even a trace of love for your lotus feet. If I did not, could I have gone to another country? I am therefore a most sinful man. I gave up your company, but you did not give me up. By your rope of mercy, you have bound me by the neck and brought me back again to your lotus feet. Swarupa Damodara then worshipped the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu is truth, embraced him in the ecstasy of love. After worshipping Nityananda Prabhu, Swarupa Damodara met Jagannatha, Mukunda, Sankara, and Sarvabhauma as was befitting. Swarupa Damodara also offered his worshipful praise at the lotus feet of Paramananda Puri, who is written, embraced him in ecstasy love. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then gave Swarupa Damodara residence in a solitary place and ordered a servant to servant him with the supply of water and other necessities. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat with all the devotees headed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and they discussed the pastime of Krishna. At the time Govinda appeared on this Asen offered his respectful obeisances and spoke submissively, I am the servant of Iswarapuri. My name is Govinda, and following the order of my spiritual master, I have come here. Just before his departure from this mortal world to attain this highest perfection, Ishwara Puri told me that I should go to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and render service unto him. Keseswara will also come here after visiting all the holy places. However, following the order of my spiritual master, I have hastily come to be present at your lotus feet. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, my spiritual master Ishwara Puri always favors me with paternal affection. Therefore, out of his causeless mercy, he has sent you here. After hearing this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why did Ishwara Puri keep a servant who comes from a Sudra family? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, both the Supreme Personality of Godhead and my spiritual master Ishwara Puri and completely independent. Therefore, neither the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead nor that of Ishwara Puri is subject to any Vedic rules and regulations. The mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not restricted to the jurisdiction of caste and creed. Vidura was a Sudra, yet Krishna accepted lunch at his home. Lord Krishna's mercy is dependent only on affection, being obliged only by affection. Lord Krishna acts very independently in conscious dealings. In affection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead bring happiness many millions of times greater than dealing with him in our way. And veneration simply by hearing the holy name of the Lord, the devotee is merged in transcendental bliss. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Govinda, and Govinda is turn offered his respectful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then continued speaking to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Consider this point. The servant of the spiritual master is always respectable for me. As such, it is not befitting that the Guru's servant should engage in my personal service. Yet my spiritual master has given this order. What shall I do? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, the order of the spiritual master is very strong and cannot be disobeyed. That is the injunction of the Shastra, the revealed scriptures, being ordered by the father Parasurama killed his mother Renuka just as if she were an enemy. When Lakshmana, the younger brother of Lord Ramchandra, heard of this, he immediately engaged himself in the service of his elder brother and accepted his order. The order of the spiritual master must be obeyed without consideration. The order of a great personality like a father must be executed without consideration, because there is good fortune in such an order for both of us. In particular, there is good fortune for me. After Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Govinda and engaged him in the service of his personal body. Everyone respected Govinda as the dearest servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Govinda served all the Vaishnava and saw to their needs. Both Haridasa Senior and Haridasa Junior, who were musicians as well as Ramai and Nandai, used to stay with Govinda. They all remained with Govinda to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, no one could estimate the good fortune of Govinda. The next day, Mukunda Datta informed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Brahmananda Bharati has come to see you. Mukunda Datta then asked the Lord, shall I bring him here? After seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotee came into the presence of Brahmananda Bharati. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees approached him, they saw that he was covered with a deer skin. Seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very unhappy. Seeing Brahmananda Bharati wearing the deer skin, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pretended not to see him. Instead, he asked Mukunda Datta, where is Brahmananda Bharati, my spiritual master? Mukunda Datta replied, here is Brahmananda Bharati in your presence. You must be taking off someone else, for this is surely not Brahmananda Bharati. You simply have no knowledge. Why should Brahmananda Bharati wear a deer skin? When Brahmananda Bharati heard this, he thought, my deer skin is not approved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus, admitting his mistake, Brahmananda Bharati thought, he spoke well. I put on this deer skin only for prestige. I cannot cross over the ocean of nations simply by wearing a deer skin. From today on, I shall not wear this deer skin. As soon as Brahmananda Bharati decided this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding his mind, immediately sent for the robes of a sannyasi. As soon as Brahmananda Bharati gave up his deer skin and covered himself with sannyasi robes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and ordered his respect at his lotus feet. Brahmananda Bharati said, "You instruct the general populace by your behavior. I will not do anything against your wishes. Otherwise, you will not offer me respect, but will neglect me. I am afraid of this. At the present moment, I see two Brahmanas. One Brahmana is Lord Jagannatha, who does not move, and the other Brahmana who is moving is you. Lord Jagannatha is the Arka Vigraha, Archa Vigraha, the worshipable deity, and it is he who is the non-moving Brahman, but you are Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you are moving here and there. The two of you are the same Brahman, master of the material nature, but you are playing two parts, one moving and one not moving. In this way, two Brahmana are now residing at Jagannatha Puri Purushottama. Of the two Brahmana, you are fair complexion, and the other Lord Jagannatha is blackish. Both of you are delivering the whole world. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, "Actually, to tell you the truth, due to your presence, there are now two Brahmanas at Jagannatha Puri. Both Brahmana as Gaurahari are moving. Where is the blackish Lord Jagannatha is sitting night and immobile. Brahmananda Bharati said, "My dear Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, please become the mediator in this logical arguments between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and me." Brahmananda Bharati continued, the living entity is localized, whereas the Supreme Brahman is all providing. That is the verdict of the revealed scriptures. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu purified me by taking away my deer skin. This is proof that he is all pervasive and all powerful, and that I am subordinate to him. His bodily hue is golden, and his whole body is like molten gold. Every part of his body is very beautifully constructed and smeared with sandalwood pulp. Excepting the renounced order, the Lord is always equipoised. He is firmly fixed in his mission of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and he is firmly situated in his dualistic conclusion and in his peace. All the symptoms mentioned in the verse from the Vishnu Sahasra Nama Stotra are visible in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His arms are decorated with sandalwood pulp and thread received from the Sri Jagannatha deity, and these are his ornamental bangles. After hearing this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya renders his judgment, saying, Brahmananda Bharti, I see that you are victorious. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus posed himself as a disciple and accepted Brahmananda Bharti as his spiritual master. He then said, the disciple is certainly defeated in an argument with the spiritual master. It is your natural characteristic to accept defeat at the hands of your devotee. There is also another glory of yours which I ask you to hear attentively. I have been meditating on the impersonal Brahman since my birth, but since I have seen you, I have fully experienced Krishna. Brahmananda Bharti continue, since I have seen you, I have been feeling Lord Krishna's presence in my mind and have been seeing him before my eyes. I now want to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna over and above this. Within my head, I consider you to be Krishna, and I am therefore very eager to serve you. Bilva Mangala Thakura abandoned his impersonal realization for the realization of the personality of Godhead. I now see that my conditions is similar to his, for it has already changed. Brahmananda Bharti concluded, although I was worshipped by those on the path of monism and initiated into self-realization through the yoga system, I have nonetheless been forcibly turned into a maid servant by some cunning boy who is always joking with the gopis. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, you have a deep ecstatic love for Krishna. Therefore, wherever you turn your eyes, you simply heighten your Krishna consciousness. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, the statements of Lord of you correct Krishna Krishna gives direct audience throughout his mercy. Without having ecstatic love for Krishna, one cannot see him directly. Therefore, through the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Brahmananda Bharati has acquired direct vision of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, what are you saying? Lord Vishnu save me. Such glorification is simply another form of blasphemy. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Brahmananda Bharati with him to his residence. From that time on, Brahmananda Bharati remained with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later, Rama Bhadra Acharya and Bhagwan Acharya joined them, and giving up all other responsibilities remained under Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shelter. The next day, Kasishwara Gosai also came and remained with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who received him with great respect. Kasishwara used to use Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu into the Jagannatha temple. He would precede the Lord into the crowd and keep the people from touching him. As all the rivers flow into the sea, all the devotees throughout the country finally came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shelter. Since all the devotees came to him for shelter, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed them all mercy and kept them under his protection. Thus I have described the meeting of all the Vaishnava with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whoever hears this descriptions ultimately attains shelter at his lotus feet. Praying at this lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadasa, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. I will conclude my talking with this. Hare Krishna.